cover the doorway as they start to defuse. Pengu goes for one on the Young. Can he go the second?
Min, what are you doing? What just happened? Why are you sprinting, Bio?
Hungry. He gets the angry.
Oh, he's Moringa, are you ready for this?
Oh.
Yes! Pengu, are you kidding me?
Why am I so much better than you? God damn!
I am muted. Hello and welcome again, ladies and gentlemen. I caught that I was muted within the first 5 seconds. That's a good sign. And it's just David and I today, but and it's kind of going to be a short-ish episode probably because we've only had 3 regions of gameplay. But how does it feel to be back in the swing of things? Stage 2 is underway, David.
Stage 2 is underway, and that was a really good first week. Like, we saw some upsets, some issues with COVID already, which is kind of a shame. And we also have like APAC and the Sudamericano, which I know some of you don't follow, but it's there, and they are going to play later today. Yeah, they are going to play later today. And Brazil is tomorrow, so I'm really excited, honestly.
Yeah, next week's episode is really going to have everything. All the leagues would have started. I think EO's on Monday, right, David? If I'm
I
not
don't
wrong.
think so.
Well,
I don't think so.
ELO
18.
starts
I know.
20th.
Yes, Monday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that is Monday. Yeah. So EO's
Yep.
on the Monday, and then after that, you obviously you have the APAC continuing on Wednesdays, Thursdays, NAL on Tuesday, and the Sudamericano on Thursday, Friday, and then the BR6. And I think Copa Campeonato Mexicano is also on Saturday, Sunday, right? Both of these.
I think it's Sunday, Monday.
Okay,
I'm
right.
not really
That
sure.
it's probably staggered a little bit. Yeah. So
Yeah.
this week, of course, week 1. Technically, the pro circuit has started, even though not every region has started. We've got games in NAL, 2 play days. We got 1 play day in APAC North, 1 play day in APAC South, and 1 play day so far in Sudamericano. And we have the shows on Friday, so technically the week's not over yet. BR6 is going to start this weekend, as David said. Sudamericano has 1 play day tonight. But we're going to get started underway with basically a look back at kind of the big things that have happened this week. And I think let's start with APAC. Let's always get the A for APAC out of the way. So let's start with APAC North. So it looks like it was a good start for Korea this week.
Yeah.
So you had Damwon winning, you had Sandbox winning, you had Talon winning, and even Spear Gaming, which had the biggest change outside of Talon. Spear Gaming wasn't doing so hot previously, but they were 7-5 lost against CAG. And at this point, David, from like I don't know what you watched of it, can anyone can CAG challenge DWG and Sandbox? Can anyone else challenge the 3 of them at all?
I'm not sure about CAG. I think that Cyclops, we'll know Cyclops, but we should, or at least we shouldn't take our conclusions right now, because Spare Gaming is what you said, a team full of changes and everything. I would like to see Cyclops playing first against Sandbox, Talon, Damwon, these kind of teams that are more experienced and are more like have been together for some more time. I think that Cyclops is obviously it's gonna be in the fight, but they have lost Hybrid, and we know that might be a important change. I have to say I'm low-key impressed with Talon Esports. We are talking about the signings the other day. Remember that they changed Aces and Sayora. I'm not sure if my pronunciation is good.
Sayora, yeah, and
Yeah, who joined Spear Gaming. He's in Spear Gaming. And we're talking about Talon, being 1 round away from Charlotte. And having done really well during the first stage. And At the moment, they won the first match. As of now, they are in fourth place. They are still there in the fight. But again, it's on our roster that we cannot take lots of conclusions because it's just the first round.
Yeah,
We will see. I think that my favorites are Korean teams, Damwon and Sandbox.
naturally. Yeah.
Yeah, but obviously we will see. We'll have a really tough fight here. Any
Yeah.
game counts. So,
Yeah,
especially now
it's
that there are
still
no playoffs.
correct. Exactly. I was just about to go to that point. So, like,
Uh-huh.
while Talon obviously started off well with a win, it was an overtime win, 8-6. They're the only one who didn't get an overtime win. Damwon, Sandbox, and Cyclops both got their wins in
Mhm.
regulation. Talon are the only ones who got it in overtime. So it's a little bit already they're behind the curve. And Fav last season weren't that good. Last stage also they were
Yep.
mid-table. So whereas Talon were like really pushing the Charlotte Major envelope. But as uh, when taking it in the consideration that these guys have made a significant roster change, that is pretty good. Just pretty good
Mhm.
probably isn't enough for the major in stage two, and probably stage three, depending on how the format goes in the future.
Mhm.
But I think the alarm bells may be ringing already for Fnatic. Um, they lost by the heaviest margin, so they are bottom of the table right now. Um, yes, they played Damwon Kia, but Fnatic just did not look good at all. There was like it didn't even feel close. Stats wise, none of the Fnatic players were rated above 0.99. New signing Siru, he was number one
Mhm.
with 0.99 rating, and then the rest were lower. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Obviously, Damwon is number one, and this is going to be probably the hardest matchup Fnatic is going to face.
Mhm.
But they are still trying to find an identity. I didn't see many signs of it. Siru is a new player to the top flight. Chibisu only has one stage in the top flight at this point. Um, they don't really have games to give up, so to speak. They have to be on it because, like, what's Damwon and Sandbox? They're gonna take 6 wins at least, or five
Mhm.
at the very minimum, right?
Mhm.
And that's gonna be what 15 points, roughly
Mhm.
15 to 18. That
Yeah.
is that is how do you break that?
Yeah. You just simply cannot afford to lose like maybe one game, but not
Mm,
more. Um, I remember talking to Mac when Siru was
yeah,
announced, because many of us expected Mac to be here already, but unfortunately, it's not it's not here. We know the Japanese situation, really
mm,
difficult to get in the country, compete, and everything. Um, Fnatic is they are there. Mac told me that the team was doing good, the synergy was there, and uh, I just think that again we cannot say too much about them. We just have seen like one game. I'm not
yeah,
sure how are they doing in Japan, like the Japanese league. I think that
yeah.
they
I mean, it
lost
hasn't
pretty
started
heavily in the first
off
game.
again. Yeah, like after they came
Hmm.
back, they played the
Donuts,
playoffs.
I think,
Yeah,
yeah,
they
and
lost to
I think it
Donuts.
was yeah.
You're
I
right.
think yeah.
But okay, they made it
Uh,
to the playoffs at least, so
mm,
I guess they're progressing.
yeah.
And really, this stage is basically a write off, essentially, because
Hmm.
they're not
It's
making it to the
important.
major most likely. Like it's even CAG is probably not making it against Damwon and Sandbox. So Fnatic is truly really out of the question, which then basically the conversation then shifts. Where
It's
is Fnatic going to be placing in stage two? Because after their stage one, they were last in stage one, right?
I
I think
think so.
I
I
remember
think
they were
so.
last. So they are
Hmm.
already relegation candidates. If they don't at least challenge for top four, I know top four doesn't necessarily guarantee you the major this time around, but they have to be pushing for top four just to get points and clear that relegation zone. If not, they will be in a relegation fight, no
Hmm.
matter what happens in stage three, even if they really switch it on. Because Damwon Sandbox CAG, they're going to be there all the time. These guys are probably 3 of the
Yep.
top 4 every single stage.
We were talking about this the other day. APAC is in a really tough situation right now because the SI points are lower now in APAC due to the playoff change. So actually, the teams that are qualifying for the sixth major in August are going to win only 215 points, while other regions are getting 225 points.
Hmm.
We are talking of the second stage, so if the team didn't like score points during the first stage and they don't score any points during the second stage, then they are most likely out of the race for like the top 16. Um, Fnatic is one of the cases here. I think they are gonna miss the. I think that we all can agree that they are gonna miss on the major. And it's gonna be about finishing between the fourth best rosters in the competition to get at least like those 145 points. That
Yeah.
can be a lifesaver. Um, and the same can be applied with like other teams. What's your opinion? I'm wondering, what's your opinion on reject or whatever?
So, Reject today, it was announced that they parted ways after the
Yeah.
contract
So.
expiry
Hmm.
of No Time GG. No Time GG was, I think, the oldest player in Tier 1 Siege, if not the oldest player in
Hmm.
competitive Siege. He was 34. I think now Super's going to be the oldest at 31. I saw someone on Twitter comment. Reject played most of last stage. I think they were last, actually, and Fnatic was 7th.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it.
No.
But
I think that they started really badly and then they
right.
won the last
Let,
three
let, let,
games or two
let's pull
games,
up,
something like that.
actually. Let's pull up APAC North Stage 1 2022. Okay, so in Stage 1, let's. Yeah,
I
Fnatic
know
was
they were
7th,
last. Okay.
Reject were last. But it was like a
Hmm.
2-point difference between the two of them, so it's like, whatever. Um, it in that case, basically, I just want to say that Reject obviously had to make a change, maybe bringing in Salty for most of the games over No Time GG is the correct play. I don't know whether it'll work, but this was only their first stage as a team anyway, in top
Yeah.
flight. And if they can have like a Direwolf style trajectory, that's fine. They take one entire season to kind of get to grips, or really, it was 2 stages to get to grips with this kind of level of play. And after that, you move on. So Reject, I think, don't really need to do much, but like it's gonna be between them and Fnatic for that final,
Yeah.
for that relegation
Yeah.
spot, really. And it just depends, and I don't know, just the fact that Reject potentially don't have to learn like a European playstyle and
Yeah.
don't have to add a guaranteed player who comes from Australia into their
Hmm.
mix. Maybe that's just going to give them the edge. I don't know for sure, and it's hard to speculate. But at this stage, I think the Reject's initial result not too bad. 7-5 against Sandbox Gaming.
No. No.
Sandbox
No. No.
Gaming,
Not too bad.
that is looking very, very good. They got Arukaze, who was one of the best players from
Hmm.
T1. They got Nova as a coach. They got a second coach as well. So they're back to full strength. And Good Boy is really
Yeah.
good.
He's insane.
Yeah,
He's insane.
he's
He's
excellent.
crazy.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that is APEC North for you, I think.
Hmm.
Moving
Yeah.
on to APEC South. This one, I think. Now, obviously, we are a little bit
Interesting.
worried about stratification in APEC North. We've seen it in the past, where it's just like top 2, top 3, as we have talked as well just now in our discussion. But I think we might be seeing very similar stratification in APEC South coming to the fore as well. If you
Hmm.
watch the games, although Elevate lost, they played Direwolves, the team that went 7-0-0-0 last stage in Apex South. Direwolves took whatever they learned from Charlotte, they seem to have applied it well. Elevate are a tough foe, and they took them down in overtime. And the level of play from both teams was so high. You cannot say that one of these teams was was terrible. One of these teams dropped the ball, they threw the game, they choked, etc., etc. No, it's just Direwolves were better. Now, this is not saying that these playstyles will 100% work internationally, as we
No.
saw in Charlotte. But for APAC level, I think it's really excellent that both of these teams are looking as good as they are. And looking at the other results, it's hard to think that Direwolves and Elevate will be giving up that top 2 spot.
Yeah, exactly. I also wanted to pay attention to we had like many teams announcing
Oh
coaches
yeah,
or analysts.
on the last day, yeah.
Yeah, and
Hours
I
before
think
the
that
game.
yeah, exactly. Hours before the game, it was. I think that you had a difficult day on the office. I was
Yeah.
like, what the hell is going on? Like, wow.
Let me see how many
And
announcements. One, two,
I think that
so three
three,
announcements.
three,
Three,
yeah.
no, actually three changes, but there were like 5
Mhm.
announcements because some of them announced like, oh, this guy is leaving, and then like 1 hour later they announced this guy is joining, and I'm like, just
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
having Lunar Metal back is amazing, honestly.
yeah. He's back in the
Uh,
Knights as a coach, the head
yeah,
coach.
yeah. And they faced IG, which is really, really, really good. And they
And
actually
they
won.
won. Yes.
Yeah. That's I don't know, like IG is there. They have the names, they have the quality, that's for sure. But it's like a team that it's like there, but they cannot get the results they want. Like,
Mhm.
are we going to see IG qualifying, or they are going to miss out on another international event?
Look, I think they're missing out at this point because
Uh,
we said it. We said it last week. You said it earlier today, and it's gonna be a familiar refrain here in Stage 2. You cannot be dropping points in a
mhm,
pack. You need 6 wins, really, probably,
yep.
to make sure you get
Yep.
to the major. They've only lost one. They got 1 point from it. But the thing
Yeah.
is, they were supremely sloppy. So the
Mhm.
stats from this game, I took them down. 9 out of 14 entries were won by IG. They
That's a
were
lot.
6-3 up, and it was a 3v1, and then they choked a 1v3, and then they choked a 7-4 win that should have been, I think, following up, I think, at that point. Knights came back. What was it 7? What was it 6-4, 6-3, or 5-3? Something like that. Basically, they should have won that game. They did not, despite winning 9
Mhm.
of the 14 entries, and they are just sloppy.
Uh,
They look sloppy.
I'm
The
I'm
same issues
looking
that hit them in stage 1 still are hitting them right now.
I'm looking at the stats, and Jigsaw is with like 5-1 entry, Speakeasy
Yeah,
5-0 entry, and then you have Hysterics with 0-2, Mentalist with 0-2, and Nate with 0-0.
that's
And
fine. Yeah, like the
yeah,
2 people being big on entry, good job,
mhm,
excellent. But
exactly. It's normal stuff. Mhm.
the rest, the rest, like in the rest of the round, what's happening in this round? They just
Yeah, yeah,
sprinting in like 3v1 scenarios. They just
mm,
panicked. It from the outside, it looks like their comms are sloppy, that they are not well drilled and not well disciplined,
yep,
which was a hallmark of Luna Metal's IG. Even if it didn't net them results internationally, they got to international events. So
yeah,
right
yeah,
now it's taking a step back. Maybe it's
yeah,
temporary,
hmm
but
hmm
this stage, I don't know.
yeah. Elevate and Direwolves and IG Knights were the most attractive games of the
Mm-hmm.
day, of the week. Sorry, but I think that we should pay attention to two rosters, Gaming Gladiators and Fury.
Yes.
Fury was like struggling last year,
Mm-hmm.
and they actually almost got their first point
Yeah,
because
the
I think they are
wildcard
still
game.
with 0 points, yeah,
Yeah.
against
So
Wildcard. And then we
so
have
last
yeah,
stage, I
and
think they
Gaming
ended
Gladiators.
off with yeah. I think last stage Fury ended off with a 7-5 loss to Wildcard. Like it was looking like
Yeah,
they were like
yeah,
5-1 up or something. It was looking like, oh, they're gonna
uh-huh,
get the points, they're gonna
uh,
win, and then after they choked it away. And it wasn't a choke, but it wasn't. It was okay. Like this week, Fury
It was
were.
quite a choke.
I mean, it's all right. Like they are still betting in Napier and BG, man. So I can let that go. 7-5 against
Mm,
Wildcard again. Maybe Wildcard's their kryptonite. Maybe they play the best against Wildcard. But there is, I think, promise to Fury. Although they
yeah.
are pretty much guaranteed locks for relegation. 0-0-0-7 stages, very hard to recover from.
Yeah, and honestly, looking at their opponents, like Fury against the Chiefs, you don't expect Fury to win.
Except as you
Gaming
was,
Gladiators after this week's
yeah,
showing,
yeah,
I
exactly,
don't
right?
know.
Like,
And
um,
then Dire Wolves, Knights, IG, Elevate. I mean, I guess they are going to get at least a point, but we could be in front of another, pointless season, I stage.
yeah, I don't know. Fury hopefully can pick up a point somewhere.
Mhm.
I I
Yeah,
believe
they
I
can for
believe
sure.
Napew and BG Man have what
Hmm.
it takes. I believe they have
Yep.
the quality. The fact that they parted ways with Producer Boom is a good thing because Producer Boom
Mm,
was the IGL, like the captain for Fury, and that roster from the start, like forever, he was the guy. And obviously, it
hmm.
looked like his strats were getting long in the tooth for Fury. They weren't showing anything. Right now, they're showing some promise. Let's just see if they can start closing out those games. But
Yep.
they might win points against Chiefs, as you said,
Hmm.
because Chiefs were blown away by
Yep.
Gaming Gladiators. Joe,
Yep.
former Invictus Gaming man, he came
Hmm.
back, and against Chiefs, he had a 1.54 rating, 80% KOST, and 2 clutches. Oh, also plus 6 KD.
Yep. That's well, that's a really good game. You have like I honestly I didn't say it on the previous podcast, but I think that I was thinking that gaming gladiators have like they can actually upset like some of the teams, and
Mm,
like the potential is obviously there, and I think that Joe is a really good signing with like the experience, and he can like actually change uh many things in this team that it can work out for sure. But yeah, it was not the best game for the Chiefs. Ethan with the entries, um, but
mm,
well, bouncing balls with the highest rating. Yeah, really, really, really surprising result. It was
yeah,
the worst defeat. Chiefs is actually like at the bottom
yeah.
of the standings, which is surprising to say the least. But it's just the first game. We are used to see like these kind of things happening in the first um,
There is a
play day.
little bit of fear though, because we reported that Chiefs had
Mm.
said after the whole ping drama last stage in the APEC playoffs, they said that they lost like half of the scrim partners, and they used to scrim in
Oh.
APEC North, right? Because they don't want to scrim APEC South
Mm,
teams. So if they've lost
mm,
half of the scrim partners, it is pretty concerning
yeah,
because then
that.
even when they go back and they work on themselves, they do not have as high quality of practice or enough practice even. They obviously have the oceanic teams to play with, like the ones in they're not in APAC South, like in the Oceanic Championship, Oceanic Nationals, and then you obviously have the uh teams that they've already finished playing with. So like from this week onwards, they can scrim gaming gladiators like
Yeah,
non-stop
yeah, yeah,
because they're not
exactly.
going to play them again. There's no playoffs,
Mm,
so they can go for it. And as the season goes on, they can obviously script more and more teams. But taking a 7-3 loss, a -4 hit on your round differential, no points in your first week, it is looking a little bit concerning for the chances to make it to the major. I don't even know if at the end of the stage they'll be in conversation for the major because it's as you said, it's one day. Last stage also we saw Renatus, who were uh,
mm,
the former name for
yep.
gaming gladiators. they also started off with a win against Elevate, their first game in Apex South entirely. And then after that game in Gladiators was like, nah. And then Elevate made it to the major. Well, didn't
Yep.
actually make it, but qualified.
Yeah.
So,
Well.
early days, Chiefs kind of seemed to struggle to fix the issues that they obviously knew were hitting them in Charlotte. Yeah.
Well.
Well, I guess this is it's time for the
Is that
other
it for
region.
Apex South?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it that
Yep.
we can talk about Apex South at least this far early. NA, I think we have a little bit
Well.
more to talk about because we have two
Yeah.
play
Sure.
days from the same
Yeah.
10 teams to
Uh
talk
huh.
about. And I want to start off the discussion with a talk about like burnout when you after you win a title, after you win a major, or you make a deep run in the major. Obviously because you are scrimming and playing and focusing on like the old meta, the old playstyle, and just being focused on the major and all the way until the end, literal end of the stage, you have less time to integrate new
Yeah.
ideas, new strats, new metas, and then you just have less, energy because you want to rest
Mm-hmm.
after that major, and
Yep.
you want to kind of feel like, okay, my hard work was worth it. Let me enjoy a little bit of downtime,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And this week in the
Uh,
interview, TSM they won both their games. Achieved mentioned that they were feeling burnt out after SI, and it looks like it. Stage one they were
mm-hmm.
nowhere.
Yep.
Stage two they have made it.
When. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. When I see this TSM, I see Team One after winning the Mexico Major. I
Hmm.
remember talking to the guys in Team One and telling me that there was like literally no time to get ready for like the following stage. They had like media days. They had like much of stuff going on in their lives, like behind the
Yeah.
servers, and it's like really difficult to manage it and practice at the same time. I remember talking to T-Chubs, and he was telling me that they started like the stage without even screaming, nothing, like just trying to take a rest and everything. TSM, they are now back in action, and this is the perfect beginning because right now they are like
6 points. Yeah.
just with XSET, the only two teams that have won all of the games. Um, TSM should be in the top four this time, which is it's really good because it's after a first stage like the one they had, they need the 6 invitational points and they need that international qualification, especially like you win the 6 invitational.
Mm.
Uh, you have to
Kind of be
perform
there to defend your
internationally again.
title.
Yes, exactly, exactly. If
Next year,
not,
you better
it's a
be there.
bit, yeah, it's a bit
Yeah.
boring, honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, glad that they are back in action. Although we should talk about, or we should mention the situation that some teams had in their homes
Yeah.
day,
You
this
wanna
week. 'Cause,
take that?
yeah, I'm gonna, yeah. So basically, um, COVID strikes again in NA, and basically Mirage, I think they played with COVID. Well, some
Mirage,
games. Mirage, I
TSM,
know that. Yeah,
SSG, and
yeah, and Astralis they played with Call Out instead
Call Out. Yeah, but there's one more team that
of
was
DP4
playing
in the
from.
first the
Yeah,
match.
yeah,
Yeah,
in the
but
first
I'm not
match.
sure
Yeah,
if it was COVID. Yeah,
it
yeah.
was COVID. Yeah, yeah. That's
Okay.
what the report statement said. Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember like there were some players that were like actually saying that the COVID like hit them a bit hard because I remember I'm not sure who was the player complaining about that he couldn't even like he it was like a really bad experience for him like
Mm.
he couldn't even eat properly or yeah COVID is
It's
bad
no joke.
still.
Still. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, still it's okay, we have international events again, crowds and everything, but
Melted.
COVID
Yes.
is still there, melted. Yeah, COVID is still there, and
Yeah, like
it's the reality.
they're
Want
predicting
it
like a
or not.
third wave
Yeah.
in like or like fourth wave. I don't know what number it is at like in August or new variant or something. And
Hmm.
I'm hoping they're wrong, but like yeah, just everyone stay safe, but that obviously affected a couple of the teams over here. But
Mhm.
I think the burnout as well. Just coming back to it, like DZ this week had 1 win, 1 loss, big yo-yo, big swing. It was a big win to start off for DZ, and then after that they got like
Yeah.
bodied by
Yeah.
SSG in the second game. Like it was not close.
Mhm.
Astralis first game they were fairly impressive despite Callout stepping in. They were 7-5 against XSET, was it? No, was it?
No,
I'm not sure. They
I
were
don't recall.
decent. Let me just pull it up actually. Yeah. So they were in the first play date. Astralis were 8-7 against Sonics. They won it
Mhm.
with call out in the place, not 7-5 actually. They did pretty
Mm.
well. Then
Mhm.
next day they they walk out with their actual full roster, and then they get smashed 7-4 by Parabellum, or rather Spirits Esports Club.
Mhm. Mhm. Yep. We also have. We forgot to mention something, and
hmm
I guess that everyone knows, but Mira is temporarily banned
Yeah,
from competitive.
I was planning on talking about like the big
Was
stuff like at the end. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But
No
cause
worries.
I'm looking at the math, at the bans now. Oh no,
Yeah,
yes, they are okay. They were banning Mira. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's my bad then.
no
Um,
worries. But
yep.
yeah, so
We
DZ Astralis and also OXG kind of had
have
like they
exit here, which I want to mention that.
yes, exit obviously. Yeah.
Exactly. I wanted to mention that Bodega tweet. He said that they switched Gomez to IGL, so
Yes.
Spirit could focus a lot more on gameplay and shot calling.
Worked.
Yeah, that worked. Especially with like the performances against SSG, Spirits with an insane performance, 21 kills if I am not mistaken now, and a CGG rating of 2.03, which
Mm.
is amazing. And then a 7-1 victory against Mirage, which is really, really good to start. Exit are gonna be there for sure, alongside
No,
TSM. Uh,
it's crazy because like they're like a direct opposite to
I
like
think
the
there's
other
no
teams.
doubt. And then we might see Parabellum, but yeah.
Yeah. Like, look,
Yeah.
we talked about TSM struggling with burnout. DZ looked like they might be
Mhm.
struggling. Astralis as well. Oxygen,
Mhm.
they won both their games, but they had to come back from like big margins. Like, was it
Yeah.
pretty hard that they had to make comebacks happen.
Mm.
So it looks like those guys are struggling, but then XSET comes in and like they don't have Bodega and they just smash both their opponents this week. It
Mhm.
was 7-1 Mirage, and of course the 7-4 against
Mhm.
SSG. SSG on paper should have been better. They had the whole playoffs period to rest, recuperate, focus on the new strats, and new strats are especially important because this stage you have both Azami and Sense coming in at the
Mhm.
same time. So like
Mhm.
a lot of things
Exactly.
that should have been going against XSET, but XSET still made it work. Like the meta is against them, because they don't have time. You know, their burnout is against them. No Bodega, that's against them because that affected them
Yeah.
at the Charlotte Major. If you remember the Kino video
Mhm.
interview,
Yep.
he specifically said, "Look, we could not cope against who did they play?
Mhm.
Did they play Oxygen?
They faced Ox.
No,
No,
Liquid?
wait. Astralis. I think Astralis,
Astralis.
right?
Okay, yeah, right. Yeah, it was Astralis. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like we couldn't cope against Astralis because we didn't have Bodega. They didn't know what time to call timeouts, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But dang, what a what
Yeah.
a set of results. Like,
Yeah.
what do you think is like the reason these guys have just hit the ground running in Stage Two?
Uh, I mean, if we believe Bodega's word, maybe the change that we were mentioning before in regards the
Mm,
IGL in role, maybe that had something in like
a big
yeah,
impact, really. Yeah.
yeah, a big impact. I think that spirits performing is also a key. to like especially the game against Space Station Gaming, and again they faced Mirage, but Mirage, they were playing without Melted. They were, I think that Guerra was playing
Yes,
in
Gero
his
was.
place.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's a important victory against Mirage, like 7-1. Okay, pretty one-sided, but there are
Yeah.
some things that happened on the background. But we should focus on the 7-4 against SSG. And I don't know what's happening to SSG. You were mentioning a little bit before.
Yeah.
Uh, Pretty rough game against XSET, where we saw really close game in Oregon, but at the end XSET bullied that. And then they defeated the Charlotte Major winners by
Mm.
2-7, which is that's a really impressive result if you like. Yeah, that's really 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 important. Um, but yeah, I think that XSET is gonna be there for sure. Like, no, I don't think that they are going to like no burnout or no anything. Like, and Bodega, we will see how that continues because I'm not sure if they still want the 12-month ban to be reduced to 6. I'm not sure if they are still want
I
that.
don't think it's changing. At this point,
Yeah.
we've heard nothing. Stage 2 has
Yeah.
started. We've had like
Yeah. Exactly.
almost a month since the ban was enacted.
Hmm.
Basically, it's done. Like that one's not changing. But
Yep.
as the chat is talking about, look, outside of the play days, he can do whatever he wants. He just can't stand behind XSET. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
just you let them know when to be calling
Mhm.
timeouts, and I think the change to Gomez as an IGL may also, as you said, be helping with that. Not only is Spirits unlocked in terms of
Yep.
fragging, Gomez may have just a better sense, or like he may have trained that sense of when do I need to call a timeout. He's maybe more
Mhm.
in tune with like the emotions of the team,
Yeah.
etc., etc., which basically mitigates the loss that not having someone behind exit is going to be. He is still coaching behind the scenes, though, so it's still his
Yeah.
strats
Sure.
in like practice and scrims. I assume he's there, like hyping them up, giving them pep talks, etc., etc.
Hmm. Yep.
So you're still gonna see his imprint on the team
Yeah.
for
For sure.
this remaining 11 months
Yeah.
that he's banned.
Yeah. And don't forget that Exit has a big coaching staff. They also have Bibas and they also have Fernandez
Mhm.
behind them. So Exit is
Not
not going
physically
to
behind them, but
struggle.
yes, behind them.
Yeah, not physically behind them, but yeah, they are there, and yeah, they are going to be just fine.
Mm. So
Bibas is
yeah,
a really experienced coach. Again, like he coached Black Dragons, I think, and he was like,
Black Dragons looked good
he-
while he was
he-
there. Basically, like
yep, hmm
it was
yeah,
impressive.
yeah, not enough though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously not the best, but like, all right, like
Hmm.
it is probably going to improve. We'll see.
With
We'll
time,
see. Yeah, with time, his coaching's gonna improve. I think he might be close to getting his visa. I'm not sure. As I said, I talked to him at
yeah,
the Charlotte Major. They applied for his visa the moment that he was signed. So like instantly,
hmm
they like since last year they were pushing for his visa. So hopefully, sometime in the stage
hopefully.
or like next stage at least, he will be behind the team as well, at least as a hype man or something like that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Now for
Uh, sh-
Sonics, I think
yeah.
I want to talk about, or you have someone else you want to talk
Yeah,
about
yeah, no,
since
no,
we're
no, no.
more
I
about
was
exit.
gonna mention Sonic. Yeah, yeah, I was
Brilliant.
gonna.
We're very much in sync. I have my
Yeah,
notes, and
now, right now,
every
yeah.
time I'm like thinking like let's move on, you move on to exactly the
Yeah.
correct place. So Sonics,
Yeah.
a nice road to recovery. It seems. Recovery benchmarked against their stage one results in the stage one form. They also, I think, were hit really hard by the burnout. Just one entire year of being the best in NA, the most
Hmm.
consistent in
Yeah.
NA, making a top six run at
Yeah, I can agree.
SI, like, and super obviously demands and discipline style, and good for him. I'm not saying that should change. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but obviously at some point you do need a rest, and it looks like stage one, they just kind of needed that rest. Perfectly fine. Basically, half
Yeah.
the NAL needed that rest at that
Mhm.
point. Tanzan was very impressive in the first game. He got
Yeah.
two humongous clutches, very
Mhm.
very good. But look, that first
Mm.
game was against Astralis with call out. They were 4
Yeah.
0 up.
Exactly.
They were
Exactly. That
5-2
was.
up. You
Mhm.
cannot be throwing those leads away. This is not APAC where
Exactly.
top two's
Mhm.
only going to be the ones making it. But still, you have 10 teams and 4 spots, and this is the best region in the world right now. So the competition is the toughest. You can't be giving away these leads and giving away what. I don't want to disrespect Astralis, disrespect Call Out, but they're playing with a coach. They're coming off the major. This should have been a free win for
Mhm.
Sonics. They were 4-2
Yeah.
against TSM as well after the first half.
Yeah. It just doesn't look great right now. Results were there, like the not there, but you could see like
Mm-hmm.
really tough, like really close games, 8-7 and 5-7.
Yeah.
You know, those rounds that you were mentioning, the Astralis game, they like you cannot lose. Like they were 4-0 ahead. You cannot. That cannot happen. Okay, no, you cannot
Also,
lose
I
that game.
think it was on the attack of what
Exactly.
map was it? Theme Park, right? It
Bank
was theme Bank, right? Okay, well, yeah, it was.
against Astralis was banned. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Astralis was attacking first. Sonics were defending. So 4-0. And like, Bank, I think, where does it skew at? I'm not sure. I think Bank is one of the balanced maps. So just to 4-0 is
Um.
not like it's not like they were like just using or abusing like one of the very defender sided
Mhm.
maps. It was just like
No,
they looked better, and then
it is pretty
they
balanced now, I
didn't.
think. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, I mean, it's we're talking of like Astralis, they were playing with their coach, and they managed to win 8-7.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maximum overtime, but they actually won. And you know that these games, you said it before, it's not APAC. These games are the ones that make the difference at the end of the stage.
Yeah.
And again, Sonics missed out on the first international event of the year of the
Yeah. For the
2022
first
year.
for the
Exact
first time
was
in a
yeah
year.
season. Yeah. Uh, they were very consistent last year, and they have to find the consistency again because now it's like really, really, really important. They really need that consistency, that momentum. And it was not the first, like it's not the beginning that you want for your team when you're looking for that because like they just have 1 point now. It's just the beginning, yes, but the schedule doesn't look promising for them. They are going to face Dark Zero
Mm-hmm.
in the next play day. They are then moving to Oxygen. The next one is going to be SSG. Then they are facing XSET. So next 2 weeks for Sonics look really, really, really tough because then they are facing Beast Coast, they are facing Mirage, and they are facing Parabellum in the last final 3 weeks of the stage. But they might be dead by then, so they need the results now. They need the
Yes.
results now.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So basically,
They need the results now.
the
And
Astralis game
about
is going to hurt,
about.
especially because like, come
Mhm,
on, it's 4-0, 5-2
mhm,
against a team with a
yeah.
coach. Like, if you want to say, okay, TSM is like it was on the defense of like a defender sided ish map,
Mhm,
and
mhm,
TSM are world champions. Okay, fine. You want to say that we pushed the world champions 7-5, despite a little bit of a choke. Fine, but you cannot like Astralis is like, nah, man, you gotta be nailing that.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, they were like 4-0 ahead, and they also had to clutch 2 rounds to force the overtime.
Yeah,
That says a lot, honestly. That says
Kanzan
a
was
lot.
Kanzan was on something that game. Like
Yeah.
that, that
Kanzen
he
was
was a
being
bag.
Kanzen.
he was like in
Carrington
the
was being
exact
kind
same
then.
place. You remember his 1v4,
Yeah,
right? Like
I
at
know. Yeah,
NAL.
I knew you were going to
It
mention
was
that.
like
I knew you were going to
deja
mention that.
vu. That 1v3 that he got this time against
Yeah,
Astralis
yeah,
was like goddamn deja vu.
yeah,
He is so good.
yeah.
And then
It was not the same because he was like I remember he was on
maybe yeah, he
defense
was a little bit
and
inside
but
this
he
time.
was yeah he was also like there that the spot was the same. It was like deja vu
Yeah.
again. Yeah, 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 yeah,
But
yeah.
the second game he got shut down, and fair enough,
Yeah.
it was TSM. Like okay,
It's TSM.
it's TSM.
Understandable.
I
Yeah.
can honestly, any reasonable person will let that go. So like there are a couple of like you don't want to lose any games, but like you kind of might approach, or at least like someone like Goddess might approach a season like quietly, privately. She might think it. She might not tell the team, but she'll be like, there are some
Mhm.
losses that we can take. And
Yeah.
those losses are likely going to be against the other top 4 teams, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Like oh TSM, we can take a loss against them.
Mhm.
We can take a loss against SSG potentially. We can take a loss against DZ. The kind of teams that you don't want to be taking a loss against is like Astralis, Mirage, Beast Coast, XSET, or something like that. The thing is, you only have like 3 of these losses that you quote unquote can take. Obviously, you're going to take more. Other people are going to take losses as well.
Mhm.
But the Astralis one, we'll see whether it comes to haunt them. I don't think yet you can say anything. It's a long season ahead, a long stage ahead. 8 more games left for them. It's a
Yep.
10-team league, very competitive.
Yeah.
What's gonna
Yep.
happen?
It's not done. Yeah. And yeah, you want to talk about any other team?
Personally, I didn't really have any other notes for NA. These are the ones that I really want to
Mhm.
talk about. Did you?
No, I mean Mirage is at the bottom, but I'm not sure if we should talk about them
No,
because they
they
have
like
been. No,
they
I'm not.
played
I'm
with
not.
Guerra, so
Yeah, but
like
I'm not
okay.
joking. I'm not making fun of them. Or, like, it's
Oh
just
yeah,
like
yeah,
they have been highly affected by COVID, and it's a bit difficult to talk about them now. It's not been the
right.
perfect
Yeah, it's
start for them.
Mirage are probably gonna be last, but
Yeah,
well, I can't. We can't really say anything. We can't. At this
yeah,
point, it's like even if we do say something, it kind of feels like kicking them
yeah,
while they're down. So
yeah.
yeah.
It's bad.
Oh, talking about Sonics, I don't know whether that was a serious clip. I didn't actually watch it. Did you see that
Mm.
clip where Super was like, if Sonics don't make it to the major at this stage, they're making a roster change or something like that? Like, yeah.
I haven't seen that. Nope,
Someone in
I
chat,
haven't seen that clip.
I guarantee someone has like has done it. So, what did Super say about like there was a clip that was going around on Reddit. I don't know whether it was serious because I didn't watch it myself. But come on, you guys do this. You guys are like Reddit Reddit experts. Yeah.
Reddit expert.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, there we go. I read it right. So Posy Sata said they like the title was of the clip was they will make a roster change if they don't make the next major, which is this EU major that's coming up, and the team knows. Thank you, Kev, for the clip. So I'm just gonna pull up the clip and I'm gonna play it over here, so we can all kind of get like a handle and get like a feel of what's going on. So I'm just gonna switch the screen for a little bit. Let's see.
Sonics will go the next major. If we don't make the next major, there'll be roster changes.
One lone bomb site that Astralis have won on defense
Oh.
as they failed on Aviator and Trophy, and it was
Team
That
gets paid too much money to not make majors.
Well,
Sonics will go the next major. If we don't make the next
that then he looked pretty serious. Yeah. He
What
he didn't
happened?
seem like he was joking. So we just basically played the clip. Sorry, David can't see it because
Mm.
like the way the screen works. But like yeah, Super just said it. They are paid too much to be not making majors. So yeah, this is like this loss against Astralis is probably
Mhm.
not a good thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not
Uh,
not It wasn't.
Let's answer a couple of questions from the chat that I saw popping up before I want to talk about like the Mira ban and then like the Azami stats that we have seen so far. So like the first question that I saw was, what are your guys' thoughts on LATAM going to LAN, or really is actually just BR6 going to LAN? Like
I
NA
am
now, David.
so
I'm gonna let you take
excited.
this.
I am so excited. It's going to be spicy, and I like when it's spicy. Honestly, it's going to be amazing. No crowd still, fine. But we are going to see them like uh, together in the same stage, facing each other. We're going to see like new content. The Brazilian talent is simply amazing. I think that that's going to be like incredible show. You cannot miss this out. Like if you are not a fan of Brazil, which I cannot believe you if you say that you don't like Brazil. Um, you cannot miss this one because it's going to be really good, really good, honestly. So it starts tomorrow, and yeah, it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. Maybe with time, if we see crowd again, but it's nice to see regional leagues getting land treatment.
They are gonna fall into a very nice cadence of getting used to LAN
Hmm.
again. And basically, like it took NA a while, I guess, to adjust to it. But like, damn, and SI they became the best region in the
Hmm.
world. At Charlotte,
Yeah.
best in the world again. Like just reaffirming that dominant
Hmm.
kind of performance, I would say, from Dark Zero, from Astralis, from Oxygen, from XSET. Only Team One and Liquid were in the playoffs that were, well, in G2, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, like two
And
teams.
Team One maybe made it because they were in a three-team group.
Yeah, maybe,
Maybe with
yeah.
Elevate they
There's a
wouldn't
chance, yeah.
make it.
Of course,
Yeah, it's
mitigating
it's gonna be nice.
circumstances, but like, whatever
Yeah.
the case is, what you can't take away is
Yeah.
that NA is just looking so good. So I
Hmm.
think Brazil getting that kick up, like the boost,
Yeah.
everyone getting the synergy. I think they're already in
There's
team houses, but like face to face, like the stuff that we
yeah.
see in NAL,
There's always
it's gonna be fantastic.
there's always the comment that well, there's some people that say this. North American League being a LAN tournament gives extra preparation to teams playing in international events, which are LAN. Okay, so it's not the same playing 3 months or well, 3 months, 1 month and a half online competitions, and then you suddenly play in a LAN environment. North American League teams have been playing on LAN for the last how much like 6 7 months 8 months maybe more. So having like Brazil playing online now, I think that we should be a bit scared again. Like, let's see, um, what do they learn now? We are going to see W7M playing on a LAN environment for the first time. Same with Team One. Like, we are going to see like the full roster playing on LAN. Let's see if Zero Zero Nation gets an extra, you know, they are a team full of experience. XSET, sorry, Sexy Cake is there. So maybe
Yeah.
that makes a difference in terms of results and preparation.
Well, so we'll see how this basically goes on for the land situation. I think it's going to be great. Just be
Yeah,
sure to tune in this weekend tomorrow. I think this weekend's already
tomorrow
here.
and Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. Another question
Oh,
from
for you,
yeah.
because yeah, I still have to work today. So
Yeah. So, CanF66 with another question right after that. Do you think a timeout should be used sometime during the game and shouldn't be wasted? And also, what's your thoughts on a team only using a timeout when the other team reaches match point? Do you think it is too late then? Now, personally, my belief is it's a free for all, really, what works for your team. Whatever
yeah,
works
exactly.
against the other team, there's a few factors that you need to balance. Um,
Hmm.
if you want to burn an early
Hmm.
timeout, I think it's good as well. There's pros and cons, right? You burn an early timeout, but you obviously are only going to do it when like something's going fundamentally wrong. Like people, you agreed like, okay, we are going to send 3 people over on cash wall, and we're going to send 2 people on bedroom window. But then when the game starts, no one knows where to go. 4 people go up metal stairs, one
Yeah.
person goes up main stairs, and you're like, this is literally not what we talked about. Calm
Mm-hmm.
down, take a break, reset, remember, all is done. That is the time, because if you let that go on until like 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, you're done. Or like 4-2, 5-2, whatever, right? Um, on the other hand, if you are losing rounds close, you just can't find the extra sauce. If you don't really have anything to add as well, like damn, these guys are outplaying us, and like the coach at the back is like thinking, what can I say? What can I say? What can I say? He's not gonna call the timeout potentially. Additionally, when the other team reaches match point, suppose it's like a very close game, it's going back and forth. If they're built up like a little bit of a momentum, you want to break that momentum. If you think that it's going to function as a momentum breaker, go for it. By all means, go for it. Like, just kind of throw them off the game, let them stew in like the excitement, or let them get ahead of themselves, etc., etc. And then you obviously try to fix what you can on your side, and then you just go again after those 45 seconds. Uh, I don't think there's a right answer to that, and I believe
Yeah.
different pros will answer you differently.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Yeah.
Kenneth, nailing the questions. He's got a third one. Do you think Joe Rogan not being the main coach has affected Sonics? I think so. I think Joe Rogan's
Yeah,
an
sure.
incredibly smart person. Obviously, he got a promotion. Um, but I think the rest of Sonics might be taking a hit. Maybe he was part of the glue that kept the team going. We don't know. I am not privy to Sonic's internal workings, but I don't know. I think Joe Bro definitely has had an effect. Not having Joe Bro has had an effect. Whether it's big or small, I can't say. Well, I think those are all the questions, which means it's time to talk about the big stuff that's happened and affected everyone. David, you wrote this article. Mira suspended from competitive play. What's up?
So basically, there's a problem that affects Mira with her nitro. I've seen it in clips. Basically, you can place the nitro next to a reinforced wall, and when you activate the nitro, or you blow it or whatever, the person on the other side of the wall is going to die. Which that's an important bug that has to be fixed. So Ubisoft has decided to just ban her from the competitive play, and we are not going to see her until Ubisoft finds a fix for the bug. I saw some players saying like this could have been fixed with a gentleman agreement, but we have seen gentleman's agreement in the past,
Yeah.
and it didn't end well, especially with Caveira, was it?
Yeah, nice
I
career
don't
play.
want to bring it again. Yes, nice career play. But yeah, it's not the first time we see an operator being banned. Obviously, the first operator that comes to mind maybe is Lion, but that was like quarantine until
Yeah,
it
and
was
then
like
Echo as
yeah,
well.
and then that's the most similar case.
They had banned, yeah.
Echo being banned. Yeah. I think that it's a good decision. Um, you are being like professional. There's an operator with a problem that can change some situations that shouldn't be happening or so whatever. You just ban it, find a problem, find the problem, you just fix the problem, and then you open it again. I think it's
Yeah.
it's a good decision. I don't see any problem with that.
I think though it particularly sucks for EU
Yeah,
teams
sure.
and Brazil and like the LATAM teams, because This ban came after NA and APAC had their opening games, but
Yep.
you and Brazil haven't had, haven't
Yeah.
had that. So,
Mm.
like, I don't
Yeah.
know how many
Uh.
teams, especially in Brazil, had like mirror strats or counter strats for mirror that they just have
Many.
to throw
Many
away
teams.
right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Many
Yeah, it
teams.
kind of just sucks them in that sense.
Yeah.
Maybe they could
Um.
have allowed them to play like the first play day or their first week with Mira
Yeah.
unbanned, but I think they just really didn't want to risk it. It's a shame the ban
Yeah.
came so late.
Yeah. Obviously, competition-wise, Mira is one of the most banned operator. No, one. No, she is the most banned operator on defense. If I'm not remember,
Yeah,
if I am not mistaken, she was banned 60% of the match. No, 50% of the matches in Charlotte. That's a really big amount of times, which now gives teams the chance to ban another operator. We will see how that affects teams, but yeah, in South America, you had like I remember last stage, Furious Gaming banning Ying and Mira all the time. They are not going to ban Mira anymore because it's already banned. So you have
yeah.
these teams that are going to get like you know, it's good news for them.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
we'll see how this mirror ban. I didn't see any complaints, thankfully, from like Brazilian
No,
pros or European pros. In fact, I saw a citizen quoting our article, and he said like, "Oh, this is a good thing because Mira is way
yeah,
overpowered." Whether you
oh,
agree or disagree,
yeah,
I didn't see
um,
pros really just complaining
yeah.
about it, which is nice to see. Rare,
Mm-hmm.
but nice
It's
to
rare.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh, yeah. But I think now I want to talk about it's like a closing point potentially, unless you have something else. Azami stats. So we've seen Azami and Sense come into the
yeah.
meta. Sense,
Mm-hmm.
we have seen a
Mm,
few uses. Nothing so far that can really give you a
Sense
picture.
has one problem:
Yeah.
the weapon. The gun set is just bad.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
really bad. It's really like a situational operator. You can use it like in certain strats. I remember we saw it in the game XSET against Space Station Gaming, I think it was,
Mhm.
and in it was in a rush. Like I remember, I think it was SSG rushing the site and Spirits winning the round. But yeah, Sense not a lot to talk about because we didn't watch Sense in the games. Honestly, just a couple rounds. How about Asami?
Wait, just before you actually go a little bit further,
Well,
just wanna like
Asami is going to be. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, no, I think they're having lag. Also, by the way, Sense should be like referred to, yeah, as they, because
Yeah,
Sense is LGBTQ. I'm not sure whether
yeah.
they're
Have I have
what.
I have I made a mistake?
No, 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 no. I was talking to someone in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But Sense basically, if you look at APAC, um, North, South, yeah, look at APAC South. Sense doesn't appear. You look at NAL, Sense doesn't appear in the pick rate. You look at APAC North, Sense is there.
Yeah,
25% ban rate, 12% pick rate. So funny,
it's APAC.
funny, funny thing. Like even Apex South was like, yeah, nah, I'm not dealing with Sense.
Yeah.
But Apex North. So, but the point is, Sense is not going to be a popular operator. It's looking like when even like Apex kind of is not really taking to
Mm-hmm.
a chaos
Yeah.
operator like we usually
Yeah.
see. Um,
Ye-
conversely, Azami, the stats are crazy. In APAC North, Azami has a ban rate of 50% and a pick rate of
mm,
8.2%. In APAC South, we actually have an
Yeah.
Azami pick rate of 2%, but also a ban rate of 50%. So it's like third in presence in APAC North, and like this is eighth in presence in APAC South. But in NAL, Azami is number one in presence. 20% ban rate, 61% pick rate.
I have a problem with Azami.
Mhm.
I remember when Azami was released. It was released as a counter to vertical play.
Yeah,
Azami is not being used to counter vertical play.
is being used to
Um,
create pixel peaks
yes,
and weird angles.
yes, exactly, and to stop attackers from entering the site when you have like 20, 25, 30 seconds left. Like this is my problem with Azami, and it's like obviously you create an operator, and obviously the community explores other options, and that's the magic of the game, I guess. But it doesn't fulfill the role that I guess Ubisoft had in mind with like Azami. But I think that operators are very in favor of nerfing her. Uh,
She
the
needs a
kit is
nerf.
really good. The kit is
Yeah,
really good. Like
look,
the Capcom gun is amazing. Like well, it's perfect for her. And then you have like impact nades, and you also have barbed wire, I think it was.
probably, yeah.
So yeah, the weapon kit is
And you
really
get
good.
3
And
of those.
yeah, it, 3, or you're talking about the
4.
gadget?
Yeah, is it 3 or 4?
I think it's 5.
Wait, what?
I think it
Let
was 5.
let me pull that up. 5.
Maybe
Ah,
I'm mistaken. Okay.
wait. No, because 5 sounds absurd, but like I wouldn't be that surprised. You got Kiba barriers. You got 5. Oh crap! Yeah, okay. Well, I was gonna
5.
say
Yeah, that's
like
a lot.
even 3 kind of feels like a lot.
Mm-hmm.
5
But
is 5 is nuts.
yeah, and you have to melee or well, like hit the surface 3 times to break it. Maybe that's, I don't know, 7 seconds, 8 seconds, which is
Since his weapon is fantastic, card. That's what David was saying.
fantastic. Yeah,
It is
fantastic.
so
Like
good. It is so good.
fantastic. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Best game. Like I don't understand. Like
Mhm.
it's amazing. The gun is amazing. But now being serious, like Asami presents a problem because how do you nerf Asami? I think it's Asami is an operator that's going to be or like incredibly good or incredibly bad.
Yeah.
Um, if you destroy the surfaces with just 1 hit or 2 hits, I think she's not going to be in such a strong position. If you reduce the kunai to 3, let's say, then she's not going. I'm not sure if she's going to be like that used. I don't know. I'm not sure how I would nerf Azami. Honestly, I am not really like.
Bring those gadgets down to 3 at least.
Yeah, at least
Kenneth
down to 3.
Kenneth is saying you
But
get the 5th one at like 1 minute 35 in the run, or is that 1.35 seconds? Surely it's probably 1 minute 35. Yeah, which is like
yeah,
it's if it's 1 minute
but
35 is a thing, it's way overtuned.
it's a lot. Like 5 is insanely high. She needs a nerf. Like she really needs a nerf. Because we are talking about the kit is amazing. The gadget is amazing, and she's not even like she's like 2-2 operator, which that's also pretty good. Um, she's in a very very strong place right now, and she's going to be nerfed for sure. The question now is what's going to be nerfed before Azami or the LMGs?
They said LMG is delayed to like
Yeah, I know, I know, I
season
know.
3.
November. Yeah.
So yeah, I think it might come at the same time. To be honest, like we all know
Well,
Ubisoft
November,
doesn't.
September, yeah.
Yeah, we don't see Ubisoft nerfing operators until they're at least 6
Yeah,
months
exactly.
in. Now September will be 6 months in.
Yeah.
But it might just take a while more because until I think it starts crossing that like line in their ranked chart,
Hmm.
I don't think changes are really coming until then.
Yep.
No
Hmm.
LMG meta for the APAC major then? Yeah, hopefully not. Hopefully they are able to tune that and it'll be like, please just come sooner. Please.
Sorry, what was the question?
So, Card was asking, no LMG meta for the APAC major then,
Ah,
and
okay.
I was like, hopefully.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. Because that's not good.
Yeah.
I hate Finca. I hate Finca.
Finca's ridiculous. Like all of like the entries are on Finca at this point, and it's just the same thing.
I don't know who thought it was a good idea to give an operator like an LMG, then a gun 6, then grenades,
Grenades
and
and
and and,
health.
and, and a booster, like an ability that boosts
Yeah.
all your teammates and the recoil and everything. I was thinking that maybe a possible nerf for Finca would be like giving her a gadget just like Sophia's that you can change or using stuns or using impact. So you can change to like boost, like health boost, or like a recoil boost.
Mm.
You cannot use this. I mean, you can combine them, but you could combine
Yeah,
them,
but
but
people
yeah.
hated the recoil boost anyway, so whatever.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
I
Maybe
think
just
like
get rid of it
just like
and just
I don't know.
health.
DT will be like nerf the LMG, take away the Gon 6, all the grenades. That's it. Like I think then it's fine. I don't need to do
Yeah.
too much to her. Right now, she's like she can do everything except for hard breach, but like
Yeah,
very well.
that's the only thing that she cannot do.
Yeah, she's got short
Imagine that
range.
they,
She's got
they just get
entry.
rid
She's
of
got
the
healing.
yeah get
Yeah,
rid of the nades and you just
nades. Oh my
give
shit, Lord!
her
There's a fucking big bee. Okay, I'm sorry. Sorry, you guys had to. That was surprising. There was a
what?
bee there. There was a bee.
Ah,
That was like,
okay.
it's there.
What?
Is there. Thankfully, coming to the end of this, final question. I'm gonna take Kenneth's question. Please don't kill me, B. Mira's ban rate and pick rate, basically presence before she was suspended from competitive. So far in stage one, APAC North ban rate 50%, pick rate 6.1%. APAC South 50% and 6%. And over in the NAL, 60% and 4.4%. So basically, she's like top 5 in like presence in every single region so far in stage 2. Now, if we want to go back to stage 1, I'm gonna do that, and I'm just gonna go over to like a couple of them. I'm not gonna go like every single league, but scrolling down to check out the presence. In stage 1 in NAL, ban rate 80%, 5.7 pick rate. Number 1 in presence. Over in APAC playoffs, where are we? She was actually quite low in APAC playoffs, down the line like 6. Oh geez, eighth in the pick rate. 43% on bans and 5.7 on pick rate. So depends, I think, region to region, but she was very much present. And I think I'm just gonna do one last one with EUL because Citizen was the one talking about like the about Mira being overpowered. I'm just gonna pull that one up, scrolling over. Yeah, 49%, 11%. So most of them follow like APAC system, it seems. Just that NA just really banned Mira really intensely. Yeah. So that's your final thing. Anything else, David, that you want to basically
No, not
talk
really,
about?
honestly.
Yeah. Um, South America had a couple of games. We'll see how that shapes up.
Yeah.
You want to give a quick rundown on what happened, or for
Uh,
next
not
week?
really. I'm just yeah, next week. Well,
All right, next
I
week once
mean,
we have like
yeah,
a
next
couple of
week.
games
Yeah,
in.
next week.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantastic. The next South American Playday is tonight. The next VR6 Playday is tomorrow. So be sure to catch this stuff. European League starts on Monday, and then it just goes into the cycle. Tuesday NAL, Wednesday, Thursday APAC, and then South America as well on Thursday, Friday, and then possibly Sunday, Monday for South America, for Mexico. Sorry, yeah, and that's it. That is episode 17 of SiegeGG Live. Thank you very much for everyone on tuning in, and we'll catch you next week, same time, Friday, 1:30 p.m. UTC, or that is 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time if you're in the United States. See ya.